Welcome to New Mexico Black Rifle Operators Union. I'm your host, Sean. So, I don't know what weird world I've been in where I've started looking at PCCs. So, my camera's being that guy, so I'm going to turn it off for right now. And I know PCCs aren't new, but there's a dream PCC that I've always had. Now, I've always liked the HK MP5s. Now, in today's day and age, you can get an MP5 or a civilianized version, the semi-automatic version, for about $4,000, I believe. I don't know what it is about the marketing stuff that happens with YouTube and all the social media stuff. The ad for this from Century Arms, the AP5, came through my feed multiple times this last week. So has its brethren from MKE USA, which is the same company, just an Americanized version. Let me explain. So MKE is still a thing, but it's in Turkey. And Turkey is a company that, or MKE is a company that acquired tooling from HK. And they acquired the data packet. They got licensing to build HK roller delayed rifles for their own use. Fast forward to today, they're one of the only people that are still making MP5s. This is 1960s technology, but is still very much a viable platform. I love the roller delay weapons. I have a 5.56 and two 308 rifles that are roller delayed. This is one of those guns that I had a cap gun when I was a little kid that was an MP5. I want one so bad. If I run into any money, I'm probably going to buy one. This will probably be my first SBR that I register and get to be an SBR. I will also probably go ahead, since it's got the tri-lug adapter on all the versions I've been looking at, that I will probably suppress it because it makes a great suppressor host. Now, it'd be great if I could get the giggle switch for it, but I can't. And both the MKE, which Century is now importing under the AP5 version, and then there's the MKE USA, who's still manufacturing them, but they're manufacturing them in the United States now in Virginia. Now, the VSFO or VSO gun channel, I forget, I always get too many letters mixed up in it. He has both of them from both companies. And he says the American one is just a little tiny bit better quality. Now, I have seen them on Classic Firearms. I've seen them on Bud's Gun Shop. I've seen them on all the online places. And I've seen them from $2,500 down to $1,200 for the same gun, basically. There may be some slight finish difference, but if this is the original Turkish one that is now just being imported under Century's name, I'm okay with that. Its quality has been checked out. I know enough about the roller delay system. If I find $1,800, this is probably going to be the first PCC I will have. Now, what is interesting to me is everybody's interested in the PCCs nowadays, when PCCs are cowboy. They've been around forever. One ammunition source makes sense. And as I've gotten older and am shooting more so for training than I am for actually an enjoyment and practicality, the more that the MP5 screams to me. As I've gotten older, I'm only 44, but I'm starting to think that if I'm going to use something long range, it's going to be for hunting, right? Any type of fight I'm going to get into is going to be a home invasion. In which case, a shotgun, my AR, an MP5 would be more than sufficient. Top that off with, it looks like the ammunition crisis is slowly abating, and we're starting to be able to get ammunition again. Let the 9mm flow is how I would say it. But this would give me a single ammunition that I could stock in cases upon cases to train with, that's really reliable, that I can pretty much work on in every way, shape, form, up to and including to pressing a barrel if I need to nowadays, if I need to replace it. But this would be a good starting platform for me to just wean myself off of the most popular 5.56 caliber that is there. And the AK, as much as I love the AK, I have always loved HK style rifles a hell of a lot more. The heritage in this is German to its core. That's not what attracts me to it. What attracts me to it is its rugged reliability and the fact that this thing is still around since it was made in the 60s. And they're still using it in working jobs. In fact, the newer versions of them are always compared to this guy. So, for a subgun, in a perfect world, I would have this with the giggle switch. Now, I know you can get registered HK packs, and as I have 3 of their rifles right now that would use the same pack, except for the extractor, I believe. I think the extractor changes between the 308, the 9mm, and the 5.56. Has to change because it has to get shorter and longer from the cartridge itself. Anyway, I digress. I have rollers that I'm sure would work with this. I have recoil springs that I'm sure would work with this. I have extractors I'm sure would probably work with this. Extractor pins. So I have parts that I keep for my other rifles that this makes sense for me. And it gets me into that world of the PCC. So for me, if I have a modern version of the cowboy carbine, one ammunition type thing, it'd be an MP5 and a Glock 19. Now I say that because to me there is no other 9mm pistol that makes sense to me. I love the Glock 19. My SIG P229 would be right there with it though, so I understand. I like Glock pistols. It took a lot of years to get me there, but once I finally got there, I'm married to the platform. I like them. The MP5, I like the roller delay. I know this design very intimately. So I could, without a doubt, support it myself. So this is one of those things why I'm looking more and more towards this. Plus, I know they suppress really well. And this would be a perfect indoor, if you're going to have to work type thing, like a home invasion. So, like, share, rumble, subscribe, be great. Tell me if I'm an idiot for still loving the MP5 and the MP5, even though this is just a semi-automatic version. Still like it. Still am excited. It probably will be one of my next purchases. Be great.